Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 28.4k subscribers. Can we get to 29k by the end of the month? Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel before we get started. And today we are going to be talking about Trump's economy. There's been a lot of questions surrounding Trump's economy. Is it Donald Trump's fault for why the economy is doing so well? Or is it partially due to Barack Obama? Or is it due to both of them? Well, we're going to look deep into this data and explain who's really responsible and examine the math behind America's recent economic boom. So here's some key background information. Now, back in 2009, when Obama took over, he led us through the slowest recovery of our economy since the Great Depression. He signed a lot of stimulus package bills almost immediately and started to immediately affect the economy. And yes, it did get worse for about a year or two. Then it kind of stagnated. Then it kind of started to get a little bit better in certain metrics, especially in things like unemployment. Starting in 2012, even though Obama broke a lot of promises to his economy, traditionally when you have a very, very big dip, you are going to see a very, very fast recovery. However, we didn't really see this, and many have argued that Obama actually prolonged the Great Recession. Now, the economy in 2014 or so was stagnating in growth despite a post-recession bounce, and a lot of the job growth was much slower and much lesser than anticipated. And the markets, in the stock markets, they were actually down from November 2014 to November 2016, and stock market growth was stagnating. A lot of people said, especially if Trump was elected back in 2016, that we would be in a recession right now. However, obviously that has not happened, and we'll get to that data in just a second. Additionally, job growth and GDP growth were stagnating, particularly in the manufacturing sector. We lost a lot of jobs over Obama's last 2 years in the manufacturing sector, and Obama said that 1 to 2% GDP growth was the new norm, and it would require a magic wand to bring back these manufacturing jobs. And many economic experts said that a Trump victory would crash the economy and that a Clinton win would cause an economic boom back in 2016. Obviously, we know that these so-called experts were wrong, and a lot of these experts have been wrong about a lot of things Donald Trump has done, saying his trade wars would dive us immediately into a recession, even if they supported protectionism in the past. However, it just kind of proves that they're hacks, because that really hasn't happened, and we've got a phase 1 deal with China and a whole lot of other stuff happening. So at the end of the day, I think we just got to take whatever these experts say with a little bit of a grain of salt. Now, Donald Trump took over in 2017, and he immediately caused a lot of policy changes to happen. Now, obviously, one would say, yeah, if Trump didn't do anything to the economy and it still got better, you could say that's accelerating a trend line, and this may have been true for part of 2017. However, Donald Trump deregulated the economy completely. For every new regulation so far, 10 regulations have been removed. The first year it was 26, now I think it's been down to 10. And he passed the biggest tax cuts in recent history, and on the next slide we'll actually get into what actually happened in the tax cuts, because there's a little bit of misconceptions that the left throws around. Trump also got us into an overhaul of our trade deals. He removed us from TPP immediately. He removed us from NAFTA, replacing it with the United States-Mexico trade agreement. And he also restructuring countless other deals with our allies, including China. He got a lot done with Japan, South Korea, Argentina. I think he's working in the UK with Boris on a trade deal. Now, this is not the only thing that Donald Trump did for the economy. He's also led initiatives for job training, especially in things like vocational schools, and he's led initiatives for economic freedom zones in poorer inner-city communities, particularly the Latino and Black communities in America. He is trying to ignite a spark so we can see a lot of job growth in those communities as well. And obviously, this is the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Here's what it did. A lot of people said, oh, it's just for the top 1%. Well, guess what? The 1% pay the most taxes, so any tax cut you pass is going to benefit the top 1% no matter what. First major tax reform signed in 30 years, I believe it is since Reagan. It provided tax relief for 82% of middle-class families. He doubled the child tax credit, proving an additional $1,000 per child in tax relief for working parents. This is really big, especially when we have a declining birth rate that we have right now. So obviously, he probably could have actually done more to the child tax credit than that, but that's beside the point. Nearly doubling the standard deduction. He cut taxes for small businesses by 20%. He got a lot of relief for small businesses. Usually Democrats in the past have been the party for small businesses, but now almost 70% of small business owners actually approve of of Donald Trump. He also did other things in this, like repealing Obamacare's individual mandate. A lot of people said that that was the worst part of Obamacare. If you didn't have the insurance, it penalized you for it. A lot of people saw it as unfair. Trump got rid of it, and he also lowered our tax rate, our corporate tax rate, from 35%, which was one of the highest in the industrialized world. He lowered it down to 21%, making America competitive again. In the future, many people are saying that they hopefully are able to keep our corporations in America, partially due to the low corporate tax rate, so they don't have to outsource jobs to places like China, places like Mexico, and things like that. So Donald Trump did a big overhaul of our economy. And this is a big indicator of why we are doing so well. It's the stock market. I said before, from 2014 to 2016, we were in a dead zone. Yes, we were up before then because we just got out of a recession. We had our stock market fall. What usually happens is it goes up. However, under Obama, it went up very, very slowly, and then we started to get in a dead zone. Despite most of the experts saying the economy would collapse, however, we've recovered from the dead zone. We've gone up in our economy. I think we hit 29,200 or something like that. And yes, it's down recently. It's down because of the coronavirus. And when that blip gets taken care of, we are going to start going up again. A lot of people are saying maybe around April it's going to start to go up again. So that's a good thing, and hopefully we can hit 30K. Hopefully we can get this taken care of because we're down right now. But even so, we are roughly where we were in the middle of 2019 in terms of our stock market growth. So we're still doing pretty well. And this is very good for a majority of Americans. 55% of Americans own stock somehow. I'm sorry to Bernie Sanders saying it's only good for the top 1%, but 55% more Americans than not actually own some form of stock. So the stock market being up is very beneficial. It's very, very beneficial to America. By the way, this is another thing, unemployment. I'm not using the BS rate they use that says it's 3.5% because that's not exactly a fair determination of how the country's doing. You have to use the U6 rate, the true unemployment rate. And under Obama, it went from 14.2% to 9.2% in 8 years post-recession, which was a 35.2% drop in 8 years. Under Trump, just in 3 years, you've seen a 27.1% drop, and we have the lowest U6 rate in history. Keep in mind, Obama was recovering from a recession, and he only lowered it by 35.2% in 8 years. Trump is very well on track to do that in 4 years, so he's already making a big economic impact. And in terms of minority employment, under Obama, black unemployment was lowered from 12.7% to 8.2%. So you saw roughly a 35% drop in 8 years. Trump's already done that in 3 years. It was lowered from 8.2 to 5.4. I think it's ticked up like a point few percent. And same thing with the Hispanic unemployment. It's gone from like 3.9 to 4.1. But obviously you have to fill those jobs, and then the unemployment rate's going to go back down where it was before. So at the end of the day, it's working out very well for Trump. He's probably going to be able to drop it much more at the end of the day, at the end of his term, than Obama was able to drop it in 2 terms. So obviously this is a big victory for Donald Trump. Another big victory is job growth. He's beating expectations. Obviously, we're arguably in a global recession right now. China's struggling. Canada's struggling. A lot of other countries are struggling, but America continues to beat expectations. He's created almost 7.3 million jobs in just 3 years. Experts said in Trump's first term, before his election, they said we would have lost 500,000 jobs in his first term. That is obviously a joke now. That has not happened. And who's seeing the biggest booms? Small businesses and the blue-collar sectors. As you can see, it's kind of a blurry graph. It's a very small print, but there's a lot of businesses like mining. These things were going way down under Obama. However, they've gone way, way up under Donald Trump, so it's a very good thing, by the way. And yes, the job growth under the past 35 months is roughly the same as it was in Obama's last 35 months, but what kind of jobs were growing? What are we seeing now? We were seeing a destruction in manufacturing. Now we're seeing a boom in manufacturing. We were seeing a destruction of construction jobs. Now we are seeing a big boom in construction jobs. Trump has created a lot of jobs in the manufacturing and construction sectors. These were the people that he relied on to get elected, and he actually came out and he delivered for him. So this is kind of why he's going to actually be able to win again, particularly in the Rust Belt states. Manufacturing growth, you can see here under Obama's last 2 years, it was very, very stagnant. Trump gets elected, Trump gets into office, and you see a big surge, especially after the regulatory reform, after the tax relief, and Trump has added more than 2 manufacturing jobs for every government job added. Obama added almost 5 government jobs for every manufacturing job. So obviously Trump is bringing bring a boom back to blue-collar, Rust Belt America, and the manufacturing jobs in 2019, it stagnated a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. However, the indicator for why it was stagnating has gone down. It's gone away. So maybe in 2020, it's going to spike back up again, and that's going to help propel Donald Trump to re-election. Wage growth and income inequality, this is something you hear Bernie Sanders whine all day about, how Trump's economy is only working for the top 1%. However, after the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, you've seen this where low-wage industries are actually going way up in terms of wage growth. The wage growth is actually a little bit stagnant for the higher wage industries. The lower and the middle class have the bigger wage growth now. Finally, you didn't see this under Obama. It was way down for the majority of Obama. However, 2017 comes along, 2018 comes along. You're seeing a big pickup in wage growth for the blue-collar workers and the lower income brackets and the lower wage industries. This is very, very good moving forward. Accelerated income growth, you can see this year under Bush, the average incomes were up around $400 a year. This is all adjusted in 2019 money. Under Obama, it was up roughly $1,000. Obviously, Obama actually was way down. He took it way down until I think around 2015 it started to go up again. However, Donald Trump has actually grown the incomes a lot more. In his first 3 years in office, it's grown about $4,000. Under Obama, it actually grew just $1,000. So he's kept the trend. He's accelerated the trend. We have the highest income, I believe, in history in terms of median income, in terms of Hispanic Americans. I think Black Americans, it's very, very close to that as well. So you see the median household income, the middle class is doing very, very, very well under Donald Trump. And obviously, there's some other interesting data here that we have. Reducing poverty and government dependency. Our labor participation rate went to hell under Obama. It went from roughly 65% to almost 62%, but under Trump, it actually started to go up again. This has been decreasing for years. It just wasn't Obama. It was decreasing under Bush. However, under Trump, he's increased the labor participation rate by roughly 1%. Remember, he would say, make America work again. What's happening? He's making America work again. Over 6 million people have been lifted off food stamps, and many have been lifted into the workforce, whereas Obama nearly doubled the amount of Americans on food stamps with the big stimulus bills he passed throughout his presidency, starting at the beginning, because you have people saying, oh, it's Bush's fault why it's not recovering. No, you enacted the reform at the very beginning of your presidency, so obviously it is at least part Obama's fault why you had a very slow recovery and why things got worse through 2009 and 2010, but that's beside the point. Now, the poverty rate is below 12%. That was 2018. We don't have the 2020 data yet. It could be much, much lower than that, though this has been falling since 2014. Now, here's another thing, GDP growth. 2016 had us at 1.6% GDP growth. Obama said it was the new norm. Trump reversed the trend, however. He increased it in 2017 and 2018 and 2019. His GDP growth rate per year is 0.3% greater than Obama's on average. This is huge because Obama rebounded from a recession. Trump is doing it with it a de facto global recession, which is very, very good for Donald Trump. Also, Donald Trump, however, has not done everything right and has broken a few promises. Again, nobody's perfect. He's raised the debt. He's raised the deficit. These things were already increasing, but it's not a very good thing, and this is very detrimental long term, although his 2021 budget proposal may actually reduce the deficit, which is actually a good thing moving forward, but we'll see. And also, if you elect Bernie Sanders or one of these Democrats that wants to give free healthcare to everybody and illegal aliens as a whole, that would be even more detrimental to our debt. So obviously, Trump is not perfect for this either, but he is the best choice that we do have right now. So what's the verdict? Trump has accelerated or sustained previous trends and potentially helped us avoid a recession. By the way, no economy is perfect. People are going to be in the comments saying, we have poor children on the streets. Well, I hate to break it to you, every economy has that. No economy can be perfect. You're not going to be able to convince people that this is a bad economy because by roughly every metric, this is a very, very strong economy. It's the best economy of our lifetimes. And by the way, Obama has not been president in 4 years, so saying that Donald Trump has not contributed to the economy is very, very foolish after these massive overhauls to the economy that Trump did and our continued, sustained, and accelerated growth. And by the way, both presidents are responsible for different things in the economy. However, they're not the the only people that control everything. You're right, Obama does not have a magic wand, neither really does Trump. However, they can do some things, and there's other people responsible too, like Congress, the Fed, just basic trends, and also the world markets. These factors as a whole also play a role in the economy. And by the way, in terms of the voters, Trump's economic approval rating is 15.3% positive in RCP, and most Americans say they are far better off than 4 years ago. So either way, this strong economy, backed at least much so by Trump, is going to help him to re-election. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, join the Patreon, join the Discord, join the subreddit, links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.